Hi everyone, today I'm going to interview Miss May. She was born in Beijing, but she spent a lot of time in US. Hi Miss May.
Hi, Michael.
Miss May, when and why did you go to US?
Uh, uh, yes, I was born in Beijing and I went to the US in 1996 and to work for the World Bank's headquarters in Washington, D.C. And then I went to business school in the University of Virginia. I spent in total 7 years in the US.
Great, Miss May, today's topic is about noodles. So let's start with a simple question. Do you like noodles and do you cook noodles?
Yes, noodles is a key part of our diet for Chinese. And my mom cooks a lot of noodles for me, and my husband does too. And I do a little bit cooking, and of course, I cook noodles too.
Yeah, hi. Uh, do you remember the noodles you ate when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, of course. When I was a kid, China was still a closed country, and China adopted its open and reform policy in 19 in early 1980s. And so when I was kid, China was really still very underdeveloped. And I remember all food, every food was cooked at home. My mom cooked everything, including noodles. She made noodles out of flours herself because we couldn't buy any noodles from shops or restaurants. There were not many restaurants in China at that time. So I still remember my mom make noodles from flour and water, and the noodles are not very hard, can easily broke, and so the noodles we ate are very short.
Interesting. Miss May, China changed a lot, but does noodle change?
Yes, of course, I see a lot of changes in the noodles we eat. Just as I said, my mom make noodles herself, but together with the economy development, we have more restaurants, more shops, and instead of cooking everything at home, we start to buy things from shops, like noodles. See, this is a noodle made by a small shop um, uh, in the neighborhood. They made these noodles by machine, not just by my hand.
Great. And Miss May, did you after you go to US, did you still eat noodles?
Yes, of course, it's a key part of my diet. And of course, in the US, I couldn't find this kind of freshly made noodles, the wet noodles. But in the Chinese grocery, I find this kind of dry noodles, and very convenient because this kind of noodles last long. Um, so I can just buy a lot and cook it whenever I feel like eating noodles.
Great. What about other noodles? I mean, noodles besides Chinese noodles.
Actually, my first experience about other kinds of noodles is because of my sons, and they were born in the U.S. And when they start to their kindergarten, and I noticed their classmates' parents brought macaroni and cheese as a lunchbox for their kids. So I started to cook macaroni and cheese for my kids too, and they really love it.
And great, Miss May. Uh, when and why did you went back to China?
I came back to China in 2004, and at that time, China was developing very, very fast. there are a lot of opportunities, and career-wise, I felt it's better to come back to China. And of course, my parents, all my relatives are in China, so I decided to come back. And I did see a lot of changes in the 7 years I was in the US.
Yeah, and after you came back, are there any changes about noodles?
Yes, before before I left China, went to the U.S., people really care about like this kind of wheat noodles, and they're white, really well, really fine wheat, made from fine wheat. But after I came back, people start to talk about to have a healthy diet and to eat whole wheat meat, flours, and different kinds of crops like potato noodles. And so you can find all kinds of noodles in the market in China now. And because of people's interest in varieties of food, and especially healthy food, whole wheat food, natural fruit.
And do you still eat macaroni and cheese after you went back to Beijing?
Actually, I do still eat macaroni, but not with cheese, but with Chinese sauce, potato and egg.
Why do you do that?
Actually, my mom cooks that for me. Now my mom, while I was a kid, my mom cooked my lunchbox for me, and I still have a Chinese stomach, so I like Chinese sauce. But we find that macaroni is better compared with Chinese noodles.
Yeah, great. I'm really happy to hear that. And many things changes, but do you know something about noodles that doesn't change?
Actually, it's still a key part of our life and our diet and our culture. There are a lot of cultural things about noodles. For example, in China, when we celebrate birthday, in addition to cake, we also eat noodles because noodles is long. It can represent long life. And my mother-in-law always said, "Oh, this today is what kind of occasion which we eat noodles? Like in June solstice, we eat noodles. In winter solstice, we eat dumpling." So food is part of culture, and many things can change. The type of noodles we eat change over years, but it's still the culture part doesn't change.
Thank you, Miss May. That is all the questions today.
You're welcome, Michael.